Hello everybody and welcome back to another anti-MLM video. I'm Christina, I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to take a look at a video I titled It's a ... and you can insert, or rather the distributors we're taking a look at, they can insert the following. I made a video not too long ago and I will link it up here if you're interested in that, from an Arbon distributor who uses a tactic I see a lot these days on social media yet again, and that is people bringing up the topic, it's a pyramid scheme. And then they're trying to refute that, telling their audience why it's not a pyramid scheme without giving any factual information, without giving any details. And I broke that down in that video, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. Why I believe that network marketers who address these topics, why they're not specific. They don't give any specific insights, they don't give any good examples, they do not link any websites or any resources for people to do their very own research. And I also spoke in the video why I believe they do that. And in this case, we're having another example of it's a ... It's a pyramid scheme. I don't find that very smart, surprise, to address something that you believe is controversial, that network marketing companies are being regarded as pyramid schemes, as snowball systems, although they have a product, but yeah, recruitment is better compensated in the company and most people lose money. It's a pyramid scheme in my opinion as well, although legally a lot of those are not declared legally pyramid schemes. Why do you bring such a topic up from a marketing, from a PR, from a branding perspective if you cannot even fully refute them? You just point into that direction. Now, I do believe that those posts in this day and age very likely exist. A lot of people are very knowledgeable and informed what pyramid schemes are and why network marketing is such a sketchy business opportunity, that they do that for the people on their teams, in their own sphere, in their own company. In this case, the first one is an example from Monate, from a Monate distributor, trying to keep the people on the team longer, trying to get them to purchase more products, trying to get them to recruit more people by creating the sense of us. We, of course, are smarter than all of the others. We know it's not a pyramid scheme, and that is why we have posts like this. And yes, it's a fan favorite of ours. It is Krista Crawford, aka Krista Rodriguez, Salvaged Soul. She has so many aliases, and this is one of her posts. The pictures are very strange. They're not that attractive. You don't see a lot. The light situation is not the greatest, and I will very likely have to blur out for children appear some people there as well. But this is her post. They said, don't do it. It's a pyramid scheme. While she's kissing, I suspect her husband. It is so dark that I do not see who it is, but I suspect it is her husband, while they're at a lake in front of a boat. The thing I always have to ask is, who are they? Who are they said? Don't do it, it's a pyramid scheme. So somebody tried to stop her from joining Monate, from joining network marketing, because they said it's a pyramid, but we don't know who they are. Yet again, there's a lack of details, there's a lack of specifics. So I did it anyways, just to prove them wrong. Another picture where we don't see a lot. Somebody said, hey, it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, meaning that lots of people lose money. So I did it anyways just to prove them wrong. But how does she prove anybody wrong by doing it anyways just to prove them wrong? She's in Monate. That doesn't prove that Monate is not a pyramid scheme, that network marketing is not operating like pyramid schemes. How come we never speak about these things? I find that so odd. Her joining Monate after somebody pointed out, hey, maybe don't do that. I think it's a scam. No, I do it anyway, just to prove them wrong. Although allegedly she was the biggest hater and the biggest no, and it took her forever to finally say yes. I retired my husband. Okay, so it is her husband. Yet again, a very awkward picture. Number one, you cannot retire your husband. You can only pretty much retire yourself when you are of a certain age, you have paid into an old age fund, and then at a certain age you drop out of the workforce. She hasn't retired her husband. She is the sole income earner in the family if her husband doesn't have a job, if her husband doesn't make an income, and that must be quite scary in this day and age, although I'm sure she is still one of the few people who still make a good amount of money. It's not sustainable though, and they have a lifestyle where they also have a lot of expenses. Houses, they have a lot of children. I think they have 4 children. They have a boat, they have a mansion, they have big cars, designer stuff. So their lifestyle also needs to be financed, and it's getting trickier and trickier. They started an Airbnb, so if that one is not performing, because Airbnb and restrictions in California where they live, it's also not fun. You have to make a lot of money to keep that lifestyle up. And yeah, you don't retire your husband, but it's a way to make a distributor sound successful. I'm the only one who is making money. The sole pressure of bringing in money to sustain this family, to pay for the roof over our heads and to pay for the food on our tables is only now coming from me, just from one person. That is very, very concerning and must be absolutely scary. And you know, you don't retire your husband. Your husband is now at home and doing fun things. That's great, but you're the only income earner, and that is concerning. Had 2 more babies. So she joined Monate when somebody said, hey, don't do it. It's a pyramid scheme. And she had 2 children. I have to blur out the kids here. And then after she joined, she had 2 more babies, yet again. And her retiring her husband also doesn't prove that it's not a pyramid scheme. None of that makes any sense if you actually take a closer look at the things that she posts and at the things that she says. It's a pyramid scheme. Why bring it up? Because a lot of people say that to network marketers. And a lot of network marketing companies, legally speaking, are not outward pyramid schemes because they do know the loopholes how to operate. Some network marketing companies do not like it when you point that out, although that is truthful. Legally speaking, some network marketing companies haven't been outed as pyramid schemes, and they can operate legally in certain countries until they cannot anymore. And some companies don't like that, and some distributors don't like that, because distributors and companies in the network marketing sphere hear that a lot. And I love that, because it is a chip on the shoulder of the business model of the companies and of the distributors. While some are not declared illegal and they're legally allowed to operate in different countries across the world, doesn't mean that it's an ethical business. And somebody saying it's a pyramid scheme points into that direction, and that is why the distributors have to make posts like this, because it's not of advantage if you really think about it from a practical standpoint. It's like somebody saying, I just killed a person. If you really did, would you bring up the topic saying, some people say I killed a person, of course I didn't, and then you still have to bury the body in your backyard? Maybe don't do that. But I think they're doing that in this case because a lot of people point that out. And that is why distributors still regularly do these posts, in my opinion, in an attempt to keep their downline and to speak to their downline, their teammates, rather than to outsiders. And another weird picture. What is it? The day of weird pictures? And now we live our life on our own terms with the freedom to live where we want. You live on Monate's terms, though. You live on your downline's terms. And was she gifted? No, she wasn't. She wasn't gifted a third of Tony Van Schoik's downline, so her downline is apparently also shrinking. She is still apparently at the SED level, one of the very few senior executive directors, but you live your life on Monate's terms. If Monate wants to terminate her tomorrow, then she's out. So she's living her life on Monate terms. And the success and the finances, the income that she makes in Monate is not thanks to her own hard work. It is thanks to the downline, to the big team that she has. With the freedom to live where we want. Yeah, because you can work from everywhere. But that is also what other people can do. Of course, they need to have certain financial resources as well. You can work also when you have a corporate job and if it's a fully remote job. Go where we want. Well, there are certain places you cannot go. I doubt that you can go to North Korea. You might not want to go to Russia right now. Maybe also be careful to go to Iran. But there are certain countries where you don't necessarily want to go and where you probably also cannot go. And ultimately be together more than ever possible with our cool jobs we had before. This is written so weirdly, not very good. And then in that case, I cannot read it properly. And ultimately be together more than ever possible with our cool jobs we had before. Okay, now I get it. So the jobs they had before, I don't know what her husband did. She actually had a furniture business where she built pretty cool furniture, pretty cool stuff. when she had a legitimate business, when in my opinion she didn't have to scam people, and now they spent a lot of time together. I would be so annoyed if I were a teenager and my parents were still around me. I mean, that's probably a pretty nice life they have there. If they have the ability to live in California where it's warm weather, you can be out on the lake regularly, but that doesn't mean that you're a present individual or a present parent, especially if you have to travel in the name of Monate, if you have to attend Monations, which will happen in August. You have to be on a lot of opportunity calls, on a lot of team calls, trying to stop your team from shrinking any further, trying to convince people with posts like this. So content creation is also involved there, although she doesn't get paid for content creation, to get people to sign up with you because you say, this is my life thanks to Monate, and if you want that as well, then reach out to me. Read the caption. This is such a weird series of posts. What's going on there? Why are we doing this? People who haven't done it themselves will rarely tell you it's possible for you. Well, because most people in network marketing cannot do it. That's how the business model is set up also in Monate. Most people are at the lowest ranks and they lose money. More people than ever are at the lowest rank in Monate and lose money. And in network marketing in general, 99.6% lose money. So most people in a business model that is designed for most people to lose money cannot relate to this. That is true. But not because they don't want it or because it's not a possibility for some, because it's highly unrealistic to be financially successful in network marketing. She is an exception. I did math. And that's just Christina math because I cannot prove it. But what did I say? I took a look at the preparation for Monations 25. It looks like there are only 8 senior executive directors left in the United States, and she is one of them. That is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So for her to say, if I can do it, you can do it as well. If you haven't done it, you cannot critique me. Shut up. If you're one of 8 people, according to my subjective unproven math, that are still at the top of the company, then hardly anybody can do it. Stop waiting for them to see the vision God gave you. Who are they again? Them, the people who haven't done it. We're also speaking in very general terms yet again. And the vision God gave you, which God? What kind of God gives you the vision to scam people in a network marketing company? Faith manipulation is big with this one, and that's kind of concerning. As someone who literally started at the bottom, years into the company being launched with millionaires already, I worked my way to the #1 global income earner in Monate. She started years and years and years ago, and while she didn't join like Ann Fisher or Julie Stevens when the company was still in pre-launch, she was able to join early before most people understood what Monate was. She already had a successful furniture business. She was well connected. She already had a social media following. She lived in California in an area with lots of people to recruit. She reaped the benefits of her being lucky. Yes, of course, she also had to reach out to a lot of people, sell product, recruit a lot of people, and everybody starts at the bottom rank, but she had a lot of advantages as opposed to others. And she signed up under Christina Smallwood, somebody who was already connected very well also in the D-list celebrity sphere because she was connected to the Real Housewives of. So Christina is her upline. She had a lot of advantages. And she worked her way to the #1 global income earner. Yes, maybe you did, but who is truly responsible for that? That is your downline. We're always forgetting these people. If your downline quits today, everybody says, hey, I'm out. I'm going to pharmacy or I'm going to live my very best life and I'm not listening to you anymore. Then she is not the #1 global income earner in Monate. Then she will drop to the lowest rank. I didn't take shortcuts. She recruited a lot of people and she also got into the news, into the anti-MLM news, by trying to take shortcuts where she offered people to buy out their business. It's not their business, by trying to get people she directly recruited to leave the company and join afterwards if she wanted under her team yet again, because it was more beneficial for her to have direct access to the person below that person. So she recruited someone who, in her opinion, didn't do as much as she had to, but the person that person recruited was a rock star, a person that could have furthered her business. And she got outed for that. She just got a slap on the finger, and I call that a shortcut when you try to buy somebody's business out, although you're not allowed to. It's a miracle she's even in Monate, because Monate said, well, you know what, for a month maybe you don't make commission, you don't make an income, and then afterwards she was able to get right back at it. She tried to take shortcuts. I didn't get in at the right time. Actually, you did. You joined before the pandemic, you joined before market saturation, you joined in the United States, which was the first market to launch, and you then had the ability to profit and to benefit of that right timing. I didn't make excuses. Well, you make excuses all the time. It's not a pyramid scheme and all of that. You make excuses all of the time, and you yell at people for not being successful, for not doing their thing. Also at her downline, that is called making excuses. If you're a true boss babe in your own right, then you wouldn't have to do that. But I guess if you depend on a team and each and every person on that team also needs to fulfill their requirements, then we also yell at our downlines. I didn't have the time. That's why maybe the posts and the pictures are also that dark. I typically don't point out somebody's looks unless it is important for the topic, but she doesn't look happy in my opinion. She looks extremely thin and extremely worn out. Now, they could also have other reasons, I don't know, but she doesn't look happy. And if you overwork yourself, and if that never stops, now even at the top at the SED rank, then you will burn out inevitably. That's just what will happen. So you didn't have the time, you still don't have the time. I didn't have the money. Yeah, but that's not a good reason to tell other people, hey, I'm one of the few people who were actually lucky in Monate. Why don't you try it as well? You don't do that for other people. The distributors do that for themselves. But they need to make themselves and others believe that they're actually doing it for others. If I didn't have the money, if I started in debt, if I had to put that starter pack on a credit card, if I had to take out a loan, if I had to ask somebody to borrow me the money, then you can do that as well. I figured it out and gave my business to God. No, apparently she did figure it out. And if you offer to buy somebody off out of your downline to join later so that you have easier access to other people, then you do not give your business to God. Then you go through the compensation plan and you understand very clearly what you can do to further the income that you have, to push the people into the right positions, to stack the people. That is against Monate compliance, and that's why she got a slap on the wrist. They should have fired her then and there. No, you don't give your business to God. You give it to yourself and you try to manipulate it. I will show you the way. No, thank you. You're not somebody I want to follow, and you don't have anything to show me that is of worth and value. Money doesn't justify that kind of behavior. The blueprint that took me to the place where we are today, decide today is your day one. The blueprint that took me to the place we are today. She's at the top of her team. But who are the people we are speaking about? She is one of the few success stories, very likely still one of the handful of SEDs in the company. But who are we? The people on her team? If most people in Monate lose money, most people on her team also lose money. We are not successful financially, only the top people. That is her, not her team. Let's make that very clear. Comment or DM opportunity to get started. PS, this is the last month to be able to qualify to earn the founder's share in the United States. This is the first one, the first piece of content I wanted to react to. It's a pyramid scheme. And then I have another post. It's a ... I will just show you and then you can judge for yourself. I will have to go through the carousel without music yet again for copyright reasons. I will just replace it with one of my musics. This is obviously somebody who is in Arbonne, and maybe I should give you some more insights with the text so that you can fill out the dots. It's quite clear in my head. Some things in life you cannot buy. Well, but you bought the car and also the Arbonne branding. What's inside this little box is one of them. The only way you receive this is by hard work and a lot of work in the dark that people don't witness. To some, they are just decals or car stickers. Yes, they are. But to me, they represent so much more. They represent hard work, growth, dedication, being misunderstood, being judged, being made fun of, being doubted, Well, that took a very dark turn very quickly. What happened to this inspirational speech? They represent hard work, growth, and dedication, but then you're being misunderstood by others, you're being judged, you're being made fun of, you're being doubted. What legitimate job, what legitimate business owner would say these things? I got doubted, I got made fun of. What? Why do you always have to do that when you're in a network marketing company? Well, I guess because the things in the business model that you do are actually critique worthy. Maybe that's it. But more importantly, of the latter, proving them all wrong. It is so sad that network marketers always feel that they need to prove other people wrong, because it shows that you're just not that secure in yourself and that you maybe understand there's a certain gut feeling that what you do is wrong. Why do you need to prove other people wrong? If you want to drive a nice car and you have the ability to get that car, why do you need to use that to prove other people wrong? How come that you cannot just enjoy the success that you have? That you have the ability, allegedly, to pay for that car? Why can't you just celebrate the success you yourself have if you're able to get a luxury car? If you're able to purchase a home? Or to pay the mortgage for that home. If you want to get a designer bag and you are able to finance that, that is something that is pretty cool. Why don't you just do that? Because it's good for you, because you enjoy it, because you're proud of yourself. Why do we always need to prove other people wrong? Why does this need to be a post? I have never posted when I got promoted on social media. I've never shown the property I own. I've never shown the cars I owned. I don't own cars anymore because I live in Berlin in a very central area and I do not need cars. They're actually quite hindering here. But why do we feel the need to do that? Well, we don't. It's people in network marketing who need to show us how amazing their lives are. Most people can just enjoy that in privacy on their own. They don't need to post about this. At the RVP level, that is the regional vice president level, that is the second highest rank in the company. And just for shits and giggles, for somebody who gets a luxury car like a Mercedes, the median annual earnings at that rank, according to Arbonne's latest income disclosure statement, is $50,000. Is that sufficient to pay for such a car? No, it is not. At the RVP level, top 2%, also known as the Mercedes-Benz level, you earn the brand new Mercedes-Benz OR. You can opt out and receive a monthly cash bonus instead. As you can see, I made the decision to keep my car. I love her. And to put the monthly bonus towards life. Savings, kids' university, travel, etc. But just because I didn't pick the Mercedes doesn't mean these decals can't be proudly displayed on my car. She opted out of that and she picked the monthly payment, which is essentially a bonus payment, as long as you keep that rank. If you drop in rank, then you won't get the payment. And she was able to put the money towards something else. And I think it's a smart choice to keep your car and to not invest into a luxury car when you cannot afford it. Because with $50,000 a year, then it's a smarter thing to do that. Some people wait until they hit a higher rank and they're actually able to afford that. So that is a smart move. But you still had to put that weird Arbonne sticker onto your car. That is so... Ugh. It's a ... Do you have the same thought I have? We will see in the end. And she puts the monthly bonus towards life savings, kids' university, travel, etc. I think that's a smarter choice than investing into a luxury car, which is in your name and you have to pay for it anyways. But just because I didn't pick the Mercedes doesn't mean these decals can't be proudly displayed on my car. I'm going to say it. It's a cult. That's why. Nobody in their right mind who doesn't have to put the car sticker name of your employer on the car, which is essentially what this is, although she's an independently contracted salesperson, would put that on the car. Okay, it's embarrassing. It's just like Mary Kay driving around with Mary Kay stickers. To anyone who doubts the opportunity in this space, and if it's actually legit, again, who does this? If you have an opportunity and it is legitimate, then you don't say, by the way, my opportunity is really legitimate. Trust me. It's just like saying, it's not a pyramid scheme. Why do you address it if it is legitimate? Why do you address it if it's not a pyramid scheme? It doesn't make any sense. You just shine a light on the things that are negative instead of pointing out the positives. It's a legitimate business opportunity. Although only 2% of people are at the 2 top ranks in the company and are even able to participate in this, well, then it doesn't sound that legitimate to me. I'll reassure you with a big fat yes. Coming from the distributor in Arbonne who wants to keep her rank. Well, what's the motive? Could you be lying maybe? Because yes, for me it worked out. I was successful. I was able to keep my car and put a sticker on it and put the bonus payments towards something else. I'm telling you the truth. What about most people in Arbonne being at the lowest rank and making $77 a year? Maybe they don't think it is that legitimate. So let's always consider the motive why somebody would say that. If I'm a scammer and I'm in a scammy company, I will also not come to social media and post, by the way, this is not legitimate, this is a scam, don't join. If I make money that way, I will also tell you that it's totally legitimate. The life I'm creating and legacy that will continue on even once I'm gone is real. You really think that your children will continue this legacy of yours? Or that Arbonne will potentially still exist in a climate and an economy like this within the next 10 years? They haven't changed their compensation plan so far, and I haven't heard anything that they're extremely struggling, but all network marketing companies have to deal with the same problems. More and more people are leaving network marketing, and less people are interested in doing network marketing, and I doubt that Arbonne is not affected by this. And once again, a network marketer saying this is legitimate, this is real, doesn't hold any worth and any value. There is a motive attached to this. It's legitimate, it's real. If I can do it, you can. Join my team, get the car that you want, put the sticker on every car that you want. I don't trust you when you have to tell me this is real, this is legitimate, then it's very likely not. I have found a place where so many of my life purposes can be poured into. Please stop it. Stop with that verbiage. And I'm here to help others do the same. Don't pour into people, it's gross. Okay? It's just gross. 17 months ago, my life looked very different than it does now, and I can't wait to see where we are in another 17 months. You know what? I will actually, if I'm still doing videos in 17 months, I will check in with that person and I will tell you where they are. Maybe they're not even in Arbonne anymore. Maybe at that time, Arbonne has already shut down. Maybe she dropped to the lowest rank and tries that. Maybe she wasn't able to keep the car she has because she has a lot more expenses and Arbonne is not doing well. Maybe she had to go back to a normal job. Maybe she was able to rank up. Maybe she's one of the few success stories. So challenge accepted. In 17 months, I'm going to check in with this distributor. I have to make a note to myself. Otherwise, I forget. Challenge accepted. Life is going to pass you by whether you like it or not. 17 months is going to come and go. Will you be in the same place or will you make that leap? You will not be in the same place 17 months from now. Things change. You can make things change. But what leap does she mean? Join a network marketing company? No, I will not do that. And yes, now I will check in with you in 17 months. Will it require work? Yes. Will it require patience? Yes. Will it require bullshit posts? Yes. Oh no, sorry. It's not there. Where did I get that from? Will you want to quit along the way? Absolutely lol. But don't, because right when you feel like nothing is happening, the magic happens and it all comes together. So if you struggle, don't leave. Because I need you to do that. Because otherwise I am going to drop in ranks and I'm going to make less money. But we can't say that, can we? Yes. The network marketing industry is a multi-billion-dollar space and growing. No, it's not. Where are the resources for that? Where are the sources that you can claim that network marketing is an industry that is actually growing? Because it's shrinking left and right, as we say. More and more network marketing companies are shutting down because they cannot keep that business model alive and they either change the compensation plan. So I'm waiting for more network marketing companies to shut down, the ones who are still trying it by changing the compensation plans, and a lot already went out of business or have gone retail. It's the way of the future. No, it's the way of the past. Pair it with an absolutely incredible and elite company, well, maybe elitist company, such as Arbonne, and your future can be so bright. By losing money when you are very likely at the lowest rank, where they make $77 on average across the year without expenses, then your future is not bright. Then you're back at that dark space that you mentioned before. Ready to start your biz? If you want to start a business, then don't join a network marketing company because you're not starting your business. You're joining as an independently contracted salesperson. Or settling to just watch me build mine. Yeah, well, I'm not settling for that, but I will watch you and I will check in with you again in 17 months. You're so capable of checking in with you in 17 months? Yes, I have done that before, that I checked in with people after a year, and I will do that here as well in 17 months. So thank you, and I know I'm capable. Thanks a lot. You just don't know it yet. No, I know it. I'm very capable. I'm aware of that. Work hard, dedication, determination, grit. Another Hannah answered, oh my God, I love this. Do you? Yeah, you're also part of the cult. Yes, I totally believe. And this is not a very inspirational post. The thing is that a lot of network marketers, she has a good amount of followers and only 341 people liked this. There is not a lot of engagement on these posts. Krista, and the same is true for Krista, only 510 people liked her posts. And these people have a good amount of people following on social media. So if not even your fellow distributors are able to hype up your post, then you have a problem. When you promote something as, it's a pyramid scheme and it's a cult. Did I say that that's my title for the second post? It's a cult. To just have your Arbonne car sticker on another car when you do not need that because you didn't take the actual car, but you took the bonus payments instead of the car payments, then you're in a cult. And I could bite myself in the booty because a friend of mine sent me a post. I was screaming. Tears were running down my face when I saw that, and I didn't record it, and now I wanted to look it up and I wanted to record it just to show it to you because it's so ridiculous, and it's also the perfect example for it's a cult. A friend sent me the post from I don't know how to pronounce that yet. People also pointed this one out. It's a German network marketing company. It's called Hila or Hyla. I think it's Hila. It's a German network marketing company, and they sell vacuums and air cleaners, that kind of stuff. And it seems to be something because a distributor posted something that is not available online anymore. I wonder why they took that down, with people dressed in the same outfits, very beige, flowy outfits. And no, not white, not with a hoodie, don't worry. It's very beige, very flowy, dancing through the woods of the country, I think, through a very landscape scenery. And they were just doing some weird dancing. My first thought, oh my God, it's a cult. And then one of the comments really broke me. I was scream laughing. And the person in the comment section said, so when do you throw your elderlies off the rock? Yes, it was like a scene from Midsummer. It really was. And that's probably why this post got now taken down, because it's not a good look, because you pretty much say it's a cult. And they wanted to say this is so positive, it's so light, everything is so flowy here. That's why we love it here at Hyla, I think it is Hyla. No, it looked like a cult that would have been perfect here as well. It looked like the scene from Midsummer before they pushed the elderly off the rock. Great movie, by the way, if you're ever in for something a little bit more drastic, a slow start, a slow burn, but then go ahead and watch that, because Midsummer was just a couple of weeks ago. Good movie, great movie, and it's a cult. So I find that very fitting. Short, sweet video, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a cult. The distributors many times out themselves, and I don't need to do a lot, although I would have loved to show you this other post. So just imagine it. It was very cringy and it was a lot of fun. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, that way you won't miss out on further uploads. And if you liked this specific video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers!